Hello, and welcome to our live talk on emerging technologies in software and computing. My name is Sarah Kearns, and I'm the Online Marketing Officer here at ATU, and I'll be your host for this live talk. So today I'm joined by James Connolly, Lecturer in Computing at ATU Donegal. Welcome, James.
Welcome, everybody.
Kevin Pating, Acting Head of Department in Computing and Electronic Engineering at ATU Sligo. Welcome, Kevin.
Thanks, Sarah.
And Mark Frayne, Lecturer in Computing at ATU Galmayo. Welcome, Mark.
Hi, everyone.
Brilliant. So today we're going to be chatting about some of the new technologies our academics are seeing in software and computing sector and the upskilling or retraining opportunities available at ATU for those working in this area. So just some housekeeping before we get started. We're not taking questions within this talk. However, if you want to head over to the live Q&A section of our virtual open evening platform, you can submit any questions there and our team will be on hand to get back to you. So James, we'll come to you first if that's okay. Can you speak about new technologies or innovations that you've seen from your perspective in the area of software and technology?
Yeah, sure. This is a very exciting time for the area of software and technology and AI and big data. Artificial intelligence and machine learning have been a major focus in recent years, and technology has been applied in a lot of industries. For example, we all know how to use Alexa and Siri, and we've heard about ChatGPT with self-driving cars, diagnostic AI assistants for healthcare, and all of these are making previous things that we could a few years ago thought were unthinkable. Now they're just a reality. And these systems are supported by large infrastructures that were up to a few years ago out of our control. And now we can buy those services through cloud computing, such as through Amazon, Google, and Microsoft. And of course, with all these systems too comes the risk of cyber attack. And cyber attack can cause a wide range of problems, from financial loss to breaches of personal data. And of course, our courses that we've got running within ATU try to address all those issues. And there are many opportunities within employment as well within these industries. Ireland has become a major hub for software and technology companies. Of course, we've got large corporations such as Google, Facebook, and Apple, and these companies have established significant operations in Ireland, and they've brought a lot of really good jobs, high-paid jobs in software and technology. And these jobs are bringing a lot of benefits in terms of salary and for software and technology professionals in Ireland, and there's good jobs here in Ireland as they are in other parts of Europe. And according to forecasting reports for Ireland for 2024, much of the demand is for a variety of ICT skills, such as software development, where there's a global scarcity. So the things are looking really good for Ireland and for the job market and within software, technology, and AI.
Brilliant, with loads happening. So if someone wanted to upscale or retrain, can you go through the courses that you guys have from your perspective? Just a brief overview. Brilliant.
Yeah, surely. So we have a lot of courses going on within computing, which range from level 6 certificate in digital skills right up to level 9 postgraduate diplomas. And of course, all of these courses are 100% online, and Springboard covers 90% of the course fees for students who are currently employed and 100% of the fees for students who are currently unemployed. The level 6 certificate in digital skills doesn't require a computing background, and it's for admin staff or junior managers who want to learn how digital marketing and online selling can benefit their organisation. There's 6 modules in that course, and it's the person who applies for that should have a level 5 qualification. The student contribution for that would be maximum of $508.90. That would be the 10% of that. Then the level 7 diploma in applied data technologies, again, it doesn't require a computing background, and it's aimed at admin and junior managers. And that course covers things like SQL programming, database systems, and business intelligence, all the nice, cool stuff that's needed for 21st century computing. And the student contribution for that would be $731.50. And then up to level 8 then is the Bachelor of Science Honours in Contemporary Software Development. And that's for those who've got a good general experience in computing and they want to improve their knowledge and skills. Students can do 2 modules per session with 3 sessions in the academic year for 1 year, and they need a level 7 degree in computing or equivalent. And then moving on to the level 9 postgrad, there's a postgrad diploma in big data analytics and artificial intelligence. And the objective of this course is to guide learners who have a good general experience in the knowledge of computing, and they want to maybe augment their skills and knowledge and begin a career in big data analytics and AI. So students would have to have either a level 8 in computing or a level 7 with 3 years relevant experience. And we can also apply what's called recognised prior learning, which means that they can combine their education, training or work experience to bypass the need for a level 7 degree. And the contribution for that would be 670.60. That's if the student has to pay the 10%. And then the level 9 postgrad diploma in computing and cloud technologies is for those who have a good general experience in technical computing and want to improve their knowledge within cloud technologies. And again, the students would need to have a level 8 in computing or a level 7 with 3 years relevant experience, or they can apply for recognised prior learning. And again, the contribution for that would be 670.60. And then the level 9 postgrad diploma in computing and cybersecurity is again for those who have a good technical background and who want to begin a career in cybersecurity. And again, it needs the students need to have a level 8 in computing or a level 7 with 3 years experience. And again, that's 670.60 if the student needs to contribute to that course. Finally, we have a level 9 postgrad diploma in computing and DevOps. And this is for perhaps a person who has high skills and experience in software, but they would like to improve their knowledge and skills within DevOps. And it's really just the same again. It's meant for those who have a level 8 in computing or a level 7 with 3 years relevant experience. And again, the student contribution for that is €670.60. Sorry, euros.
Perfect. Fair play, James. So I know you mentioned Springboard there as well. So hopefully Springboard will be open for application or launch in like early June. And we actually have a Springboard register interest form on this virtual event platform. So if anyone would like to get notified of when Springboard launches, just fill in your details there in that form and we can let you know when it is launched and is open for applications. Thank you, James. That was great. A brilliant overview of the courses offered there. So Kevin, we'll come to you next if that's okay. So in the media at the moment, there seems to be a bit of a downturn, in terms of the tech economy. Can you chat to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, James gave a great overview of the kind of great landscape that we have in Ireland at the moment with so many tech companies out there. But during COVID, there was a lot of expansion from those very large worldwide brands that we're all aware of, the Metas, Google, Twitter, Spotify, and Shopify and so on. But inevitably after COVID, people have come back to work and things have changed. And unfortunately, they've had to let go of people. But I suppose we should look at the kind of the figures from Ireland as a whole. Generally here, from the media, they'll say, dropping 10%, for example, of their stats. But that's mainly kind of focused on non-core areas to software engineering. So for example, admin, HR, and so on. I think as well, looking at the positive light that, again, a slightly softening market, but for every downturn, there's an upturn, and the software economy is very resilient, particularly in this country. So say, for example, we have something like 164,000 people employed in the tech sector alone in this country, with over 1,000 tech companies. And you think of all of the other companies and businesses that need to do work and need to do things efficiently and use the cloud and use the internet. So again, I think there's still a lot of softening, yes, but still a huge potential for growth. So it's great to see that, and that will continue, we believe.
Brilliant. So the demand is still there, really.
The demand is still there, yeah. The demand is still there, definitely.
So then, from your perspective, can you give us an overview of the courses offered? Sorry.
Yeah, I probably won't go into as much detail as the previous speaker, but again, I suppose our offerings mimic in some way the offerings that we have to our undergraduates, and it's based on the typical things that companies need from employees who want to retrain or reskill. So software development, cloud computing, network and cyber. And I suppose in a more niche level, which we'll talk about in a second, things like data science, for example. So again, those key skills that anybody maybe who's interested maybe in doing a postgraduate, level 6 through 9, that they want to decide, well, look, I want to do this to help my employer, maybe to retrain, to work in a role that I don't currently work in. Maybe it's for promotion prospects and so on, or maybe just that I want to move job and move to another area. So I think we give lots of opportunities for our students to do that, in a great environment using online.
Brilliant. So for online courses then, Kevin, can you chat about the time commitment that people can expect to dedicate to their studies? I know this really differs for each of the levels, but just maybe an overview.
Yeah, it's a kind of a scary thing. And I mean, it's a huge commitment when you think of it from a student. They're thinking about now about doing an online course starting in September or maybe next January, depending on the intake. But, they're wondering, how can I balance my life, my family, sports activities that I do, and how can I study at the same time? But I suppose from across all of the campuses that are here, I suppose we have some common things. So generally from an online point of view, you'll work maybe from a Monday to a Thursday, not exclusively, but generally you'll do your online lectures or take your online lectures, Monday to Thursday. And generally they're from maybe 6 to maybe 10 p.m. But the thing is as well, all of those lectures are recorded. So if you're not able to because you're working overtime or you have family commitments or maybe you're ill or whatever it might be, you always have the opportunity then to review those materials in your virtual learning environment. So for example, in ATU Sligo, we use a system called Blackboard, a system called Moodle, I should say. So again, all of your materials there, your recordings there, you're able to interact with your lecturing, your student colleagues, and upload assignments and so on. So, I mean, again, if you take a kind of a typical 5-credit module, which would be fairly typical, I think, across all of the campuses, you're probably talking maybe 5 to 6 hours maybe per week. Sounds like a lot, but if you break it down, you need to cover your lectures, you need to do some independent learning off your own that and time that. You need to communicate with your lecturers and maybe clarify in assignments. And also you'll have some tic-tac with your classmates as well. So even though we're online, it's nice to think that you have an environment, a space that you can share those things with your fellow classmates. And of course, assignments and time to do that at the weekend. So generally, that's what we think about, the 5 to 6 hours. From an exam point of view as well, there's a commitment then, in January, 2 to 4 days for doing your exams. And also then in May, 2 to 4 days that you'd probably set aside and lock down with your employer, make sure you have the time off and so on.
Yeah, I know you mentioned there about watching back lectures that were recorded. I know that's brilliant for students whenever they're in revision mode as well, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. There you go. I mean, you get the double benefit. You may watch the live lecture. You might decide, well, hang on a second, I got diverted, or I'll watch it later. And then, of course, for revision as well. Absolutely fantastic and essential as well for the online learner.
Yeah, definitely, because they're trying to balance a whole lot of things.
They're trying to balance, yes.
Yeah. So at ATU, we offer a few courses in the area of automotive and data science. Can you tell us why these areas are becoming more relevant in industry?
Yeah, so I suppose if we think of kind of broadly the courses that we offer, software engineering, databases, networking, cloud, cybersecurity, and so on. And then I suppose I wouldn't even call them niche, but areas, for example, like automotive and autonomous vehicles and so on. Becoming part of everyday life now. Any car that we drive has a huge element of electronic component. So things have changed a lot in 30 years. And I think now we're moving from, diesel and petrol to electric environments even more so. And even if you think, what are the things that are involved in, a course like that? For example, machine learning and AI, cybersecurity, because we want to make sure that our car is not stolen, advanced robotics and computer vision, the key one, I suppose. That idea that, we maybe haven't reached it we've reached in certain cities around the world for self-driving cars. So using computer vision, using things like LiDAR and so on. But that's not just exclusive then you might think that's quite niche, but actually it's not. So there's a huge automotive market in that area because there are lots of cars. But also think about other industries. Think about, for example, manufacturing system and factories with making widgets, or think of agriculture, a huge user of things like computer vision. Mm-hmm. So areas maybe that you don't think of, but are becoming now very common in everyday life in terms of the products that we buy, use, and consume every day of the week. So again, lots of areas that we can use that. And also data science. I mean, again, if you think of, we have lots of data. So more and more data has been generated. But how do we actually use that cleverly? How do we stop being subjective, but actually use the data to actually base our decisions on. That's where data science come in. So it's a subtle mix of artificial intelligence, machine learning. It's data that's in some rough, uncut format. It's programming, it's coding, it's algorithms, all of them coming together to give you something, to give you insights into information that you can't see or get insights from. If I just give you a quick example, think of, for example, a company doing deliveries during COVID. Obviously, one of the things that they want to do is maximize that they have a full load and that they use those journeys well so that they're delivering to maximum clients with a full lorry. So they'd be very interested in how do we analyze the data of our delivery, of how packed the lorry is, how do we do that more efficiently? And data science is one of the ways that you do that. Very simple example.
That's brilliant. It's all about making efficiencies then for your clients, isn't it? Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, and I think every business is looking for those efficiencies. And how do we, get more profit out of our bottom line? How do we make our staff more efficient? So on. People are looking at that, and now it's realizable with data science.
Brilliant. That's really interesting. So I know you touched on a little bit there, Kevin, but Mark, we'll come to you next if that's okay. So can you tell us a little bit more about cybersecurity and how important it is across all industries?
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Just great introduction there from Kevin and James. Cybersecurity is everywhere at present. It's all about putting in place. You have to put in place the processes, the technologies that are going to protect your organization, because at some stage, you're not going to prevent every possible cyber threat that's out there. And it's really important that you look at ways that you can protect as an organization, your networks, your infrastructure, your data, to stop people getting either unauthorized access or maybe stopping you from getting access to your data through a cyber attack. And we've all seen the impacts. We've seen the impacts that the likes of a ransomware attack can cause for industries. We've seen it with our healthcare industry. We've seen it in other industries recently in Ireland as well. So it's really important that an organization has what we refer to maybe good cybersecurity maturity, good cybersecurity skills within the organization, that they have a workforce that's able to go in, identify those threats, identify what is the risk to us? What's going to happen if we have a cyber attack? And how are we placed to respond to that cyber threat? And that's really what I think cybersecurity is about. It's been able to manage the risk that's posed nowadays through cybersecurity. And the risk is huge. The risk is there in a number of ways. You may get a financial risk. You may get a fine imposed by the Data Protection Commissioner because you haven't protected your data, but you may also get a huge reputational damage. If that fine is then made public and it's out there in the press, it's a huge reputational damage to an organization. Well, we've had a cyber attack. So it's very important for companies to put in place technologies, processes, but awareness and skills within the organization. That's the real thing. And if they can do that, they're going to definitely be able to build or develop, their cybersecurity maturity for the organization.
Oh, it's fascinating. So it is. It's also kind of terrifying as well. But if someone wanted to upskill and retrain in that area, Mark, can you chat about the courses on offer?
Yeah, well, here in ATU Mayo, we run programs right through from level 7 to level 9. We have two 30 credit certificates that we run at level 7. Now, they can be done fully online through the means that Kevin was referring to. We put tutorials out on our Moodle or VLE platform. And they allow you then over a 2-year period build up what we call enough credits to gain a level 7 BSc in cybersecurity. We also have a level 8 higher diploma, which is funded through Springboard. And that was developed with our Hewlett Packard Enterprise Cyber Defense Center in Galway. That's a big focus on risk and compliance, where we look at SIEM, we look at cybersecurity architecture, and we look at data law and compliance. And I think that's interesting because we bring in the legal aspect or the legal requirement into it as well. And then finally, we also have a level 9 in secure operations, which is our master's program. We have 30 credits taught and then 60 credits through research.
Brilliant. So like who would be interested in these courses? Like what kind of job roles or job titles would typically go for these courses?
I suppose what we can go by is maybe some of the applicants that have been applying in recent years. These can be people that want to upskill. They've found themselves with an interest in technology, but just maybe don't have the level 7 or level 8 award. We also have people that have maybe awards in other areas and they want to transition. Their role has changed. And that's a big thing that has happened in recent years, is that people that have been dealing with data or with other aspects now need to bring in maybe a cybersecurity area, or maybe someone that is in a law area needs the technology area. And I think that's where we start to see those different skill sets. You need knowledge in maybe both areas. So anyone that has maybe either you'll see a requirement or maybe an interest in cybersecurity or want to upskill, that's what we would really see that these courses would address.
Brilliant. So then for someone working in this area as well, can their work experience help them gain entry to a course?
They can, and there's a great site to go to. I think it's called myexperience.ie.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe we can get someone to check that and put it in the chat after. That's a great site to go to. And it's a place where you can go and find out about recognition of prior learning. So that's just a way of saying we'll look at what you've done in the past and see, does it match with any of the modules we're running? If it does, we'll give you the credit for it. In other words, you don't have to do the module. Make it a bit easier.
Brilliant. And I can confirm that it's www.myexperience.ie because I've visited the website many times myself. So then we chatted a little bit about online learning with Kevin. And I suppose we have a variety of different study modes at ATU for part-time courses. So can you tell us a little bit about blended learning and what does that entail?
Yeah, I suppose some courses you'll see advertised as online. So online means it's fully online, it's delivered. There's no requirement for you to come on site. If you see blended delivery means that we run some of the content online and we would like you to come on site for some days during the year. Now, what we normally do is we put out a schedule or a timetable first at the start of the year, and we would identify what dates that would be. Now, you're not expected maybe to be on site every week, but maybe you might be on maybe a Friday or a Saturday, maybe every 5-6 weeks, something like that, to go back through tutorials and go over how you're progressing with the course, meet with classmates and meet with tutors as well. We find it blended is a great way to build up a very good class dynamic. It can be difficult to get that always maybe through fully online, and I think blended is a great way to develop that and develop that interaction with your classmates. So that's the difference really between it. Blended, you're going to have to come on site some of the time, not all of the time.
Yeah, it goes down to the individual person as well and what they kind of feel that they'd like as well. So sometimes blended would suit them better and like how they learn, and then online as well. Yeah.
If a person for whatever reason can't make a day, what we do is we record those as well. So we kind of run a hybrid. So we'll record it and we'll put it up online after. So life happens, these things happen, and people can't always make dates that they've committed to.
Yeah, flexibility is key, and that's great that you do that. Brilliant. So we'll wrap it up there. Thanks, James, Kevin, and Mark for being our panelists this evening. There was loads of really good information shared there. So if anybody would like to watch this session back, we'll upload a video of this live talk to our virtual open evening webpage and be able to watch back there. So if you're interested in doing a course from our software computing area, please visit our course search section, our virtual open evening platform, where you can find out about our courses and how to apply as well. So thanks, guys. That was brilliant. Thanks a million.
Great.